What is up, guys? It's me, Crash here, and I am doing a few videos as I speak. I'm going to be talking about some different topics, talking about Hypefestation, and today, right now, I'm just sitting with my overlay up, and it's actually kind of going over the rebroadcast from Hypefestation. This was the losers bracket quarterfinals, I believe, and it's going to be SYN versus Vex. Arguably one of the best games in the entire tournament, the entire LAN event, and if you can't already tell, this video is going to be about Ben, or Strangulate, as you guys know him. I want to talk a little bit about what I know about Strangulate, and like how I met him, and what I think about him, and just this whole situation. So I do have like this killer cough because my voice is shot from this weekend, so please bear with me. But basically, I had seen, Strangulate online a lot, over the years and on GB, but I didn't really pay attention to GB all that much. Like, whenever I was younger, I was doing scrims and stuff, but even to me at the time, like, I can honestly say, like, being a 14-year-old or, like, a 15-year-old, whatever time I was actually really paying attention to stuff, it was hard for it to be very, you know what I mean? Like, you're young, you do what you want to do, you're not really paying attention to a whole lot of the other stuff. So, I don't know. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So I had seen them on Fully Spaced. I was used to seeing French Fries and Distortion, which is yogurt, I believe. And so I had seen Strangulate around for a while. And it was only up until whenever I went to Hype 2 that I really got to know the SYN squad. Now, at the time, SYN was comprised of Yogurt, Nasty, Strangulate, and Damage Points, which is now Enemy Damage Points. So, some familiar names and faces, and I have to say, like, without much knowledge of them going into Hype, I mean, everybody kind of knew them as like a very strong team going into Hype, or I feel like they were considered still to be like the online warriors of Hype 2, you know what I mean? Like, nobody really, like, I think they knew they were strong, but nobody really cared. But SYN is just this brand, this team that has been built by Strangulate, and he's put so much into it, and they've built it, and they've, I don't know, I've just seen it come so far with the same, or the majority of the same members, leading throughout the years. So now we have this roster that's comprised of, a new, more permanent third, and Red Icy. And I mean, when I first started watching Notorious, Icy was just like the guy to watch for me, and I just want to try to put some emphasis on this roster. Like, you have Noxious, who's just this passionate, amazing player who works well with his teammates, and I feel like that on every single roster he's been on. I mean, he's just this amazing, supportive player with ridiculous slaying ability. And then there's Strangulate, who is like the exact same thing. It's just, this raw skill, talent player who is just like, I don't know, like the brain of their squad, and he just puts in so much work, and is just so helpful in coordination, I feel, at least from my perspective. And then there is Icy and Nasty, and I don't even understand how anybody could allow those two to get on the same roster, but it happened, and now they play off each other's energy, they play off each other's drama, they get in other people's faces. It's one of the best times I've ever had. So let me revert back a little bit back to what I was talking about with Hype 2. With Hype 2, they just were the funnest roster to watch. I mean, I was a referee at the event, and I just couldn't help but like want to root for them. I was just so into their gameplay and what they had going, and it was just an amazing experience to be a part of that. And now, toward the end of Gears 3, as far as I can remember, SYN was kind of like no more, like, they were going on break, hiatus, whatever, and, that's whenever it was kind of like the Notorious age, where, they really were stepping up and being a dominant team at the end of Gears of War 3. And so it's only natural that if you're not competing in a game, and maybe you even have thoughts that you may never compete in a game, you would take a position doing what you love, and that's playing Gears of War. And so Ben did so much more than he had ever done, and that's just crazy to think about what he had accomplished with Gears, and that he was able to actually contribute more in a way that none of us, I feel like, we truly appreciate. And now I'm not sitting here like arguing against the masses. Everybody wants this. Strangulate needs to be allowed to play. He went to the coalition to make the game better. You know what I mean? Like, this should be something that shouldn't have a restriction on it, but should be revered for his gameplay and for his ability to, put in the work that he did competitively, not competitively, at the coalition and prior to any speakings with the coalition at all. And so it just comes down to me, wanting to spread the word. There's 2 days left. ESL and the coalition, whoever has, the final say on this, we at least need a decision from y'all. I know it's the worst thing in the world. It's just that anxiety, that waiting feeling, especially when it's a passion. I mean, it is a passion that not only that Ben play, but that these four play together. And it would be an injustice to Gears of War competitive to not allow this roster to continue what could be their reign in the Gears of War scene. I mean, they got second place at Haifa Station, and again, it would just be a disservice to the fans. It would be a disservice to the other competitors if they weren't allowed to play against one of the best teams in the game right now. So with that being said, I just think it's free Strangulate, let Ben play. It's time to kind of break down some of these social barriers, these norms and industry standards that are set, and to really look at the core that is Gears of War esports and understand what Ben has really done for the game has been so much more impactful than what most have done, and I want to reward him for that. I think he deserves to be rewarded for that. So let's get this going. Let's let Strangulate play. SYN is back, and it was an amazing experience this weekend to be able to watch them live. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm not done watching them. So, alrighty guys, make sure you post this out. Let's get this scene. All right, peace.